Back in 1986, King Hiss was released for the Motu vintage line, and in his mini-comic King of the Snakemen, there's a part where King Hiss tells He-Man that thousands of years ago that he ruled several planets in the universe, and him and his repulsive reptiles held the galaxy in an iron grip. Now, unfortunately, shit didn't turn out the way he wanted on Eternia, and him and his crew got banished to another dimension by the Council of Elders. Now, the main thing that caught my eye on that page right there was those crazy-ass looking Snakemen. My man had some trained killers on his team, like they was out here taking over universes and shit. So it's a damn shame that he couldn't have that crew with him when Skeletor brought his ass back to Eternia, and maybe things would have turned out differently and He-Man would have got his ass whooped. Who knows? But one thing is for sure, those repulsive reptiles right there would make some fine figures. And here it is, folks, the Repulsive Reptiles, all done by Bombstar Outcast. Now, thankfully, there was some amazing artwork done by Motu Comic on Instagram of all the Repulsive Reptiles for Bombstar Outcast to base these figures on. And folks, I gotta say, these figures came out great. They look just like the artwork, in my opinion. So we're gonna go over each one, look at it from front to back, and compare them next to the artwork done by Motu Comic and the vintage mini comic to see just how accurate these figures are. Starting off, let's take a look at the first repulsive reptile, Sobekk. Now, these names were all made up by Motu Comic, and I was told that they were all based on different names of snakes. Now, like always, let's start from the bottom to the top. Checking out them gold feet right there. He got them Skeletor feet on it. Now, before Bombstar Outcast put all these together, I gave him all the body parts that he needed, and I tried to match it up the best that I could with the artwork done by Motu Comic. That waist right there came from Snakeface. The vest right there, that's an expensive vest that came from Koldar because his ass on eBay right now is about $100. But that fucking face, beautiful job, Bombstar. You got that shit on the money. Same thing with the top of the head. The back of the body is looking mighty damn good in these colors. I love what he did with the highlight of gold over the body color, which is just like the artwork, and he got the weapons to match, which were all made by the legend himself, Yorko, which he made this Repulsive Reptile Soldier weapons pack. If you want it, I'll put a link in the description. You just gotta print it out, and that's it. So by having these official looking weapons on top of the figure the way he is, looks legit to me. Next up, we got Kommo-Boom. Now, I really like this one because that weapon is badass. Rocking that big ass gun. He ain't taking no shit. This right here is King Hiss's official shooter. Starting off at the bottom, I gave him them Cartoon Collection Trapjaw legs, and then Bombstar paired that up with some Palace Guard leg armor, which looks pretty good to me. The waist, all them pieces look legit. The armor, for what it is, I like how he added them black lines in it. That gun right there, beautiful looking gun. Like what he did with the wrist, but what he did with that fucking face. I love the way that helmet came out and how you free sculpted the helmet with the clay. Beautiful work. Great job. The other wrist looks great, matches with the other one. Back of the body looks good to me. Looks just like how it would look, how I expect it to look if that figure was to turn around in that picture. And another thing that stands out about this figure and all the other ones is each one is drastically different. Like the colors, the armor, everything they got looks way different than the other one. This ragtag group of Snakemen is easy money for Mattel if they was just to do it in a multi-pack. Think about that shit, Mattel. But up next, we got Moloch. I know I'm probably saying that name wrong. I'm doing my best. But this one right here, this is probably the craziest looking one out the bunch, especially with that fucking face. But start off with the feet. My man is rocking them Skeletor Force 1s in the red. Then moving up, that leg color is nice and on point. The waist came from Cobra Khan. And then that shield right there, I know it ain't the typical Snakeman shield. I guess he wanted to remix that shit out, but I like it. The weapon right there on point. The arms, they came from Snakeface. And that vest is from Clamp Champ. But that fucking face. Oh shit. That shit looks so badass. Loving what you did with the horns and all that. Tongue sticking out of that head. I don't know where that head came from, but what you did to it, that shit is perfect. That's the face of a killer. Now right here on the back of the body, the main thing that draws my eye is how he did the shading from the yellow to the orange, from the neck, legs going around. Great job, Bomb Star. Next up, we got Platyrhin, the snake man with the staff that will beat you the hell up. I love his color pattern in general. The armor really stands out to me. But let's just start off with the bottom from the top, work our way up. Because this one right here was made from several different parts. Starting off with them feet, you can get them from buzz off, clawful, don't matter. The legs and the waist, that came from Squeeze. Moving up to the chest, that's also Squeeze's chest. But them arms right there, they came from Snout Spout, and he ended up doing some clay sculpting right there on the shoulders to match with the armor in the picture. But that fucking face, that's the face from Squeeze, and he just sculpted the helmet, added the 3 horns right there on him. My man is looking good. The color is perfect. Overall, very satisfied with the front of the body. Let's move to the back, where everything looks fine to me. The one thing that I'm happy about is that with the Squeeze body, with it having the scales on it, when you color that shit in the orange, them scales still stand out. They really make the figure pop. Everything looks fine. The shoulder pads, loving how you put the lines in it to match with the armor. And I'm definitely a fan of the blue draws with the blue weapon. Now right here, the last snake, it don't got no name. Motu comic, he didn't get that far to be able to make a name for this one, but I'll tell you what, folks, if you got a great idea for a name, leave it in the comments. I'll pick the top 5, and I'll let everybody vote on it. Winner wins the prize. But start off at the bottom of the body. That snake tail, I'm so glad one of the snakes in this group actually got a snake tail, because they snake shit. That weapon right there, great job, Yorko. That shit looks just like the picture. Loving how he did the armor pieces. Now the bottom of the arm, based on the artwork, it looks like it would have belonged to Fangor, but he ended up using some Palace Guard armor, cut it down, painted it the colors, gets the job done. That fucking face though, oh shit. That shit is crazy. Matches up to the artwork done by Motu comic, flipping his ass around. We get a better look at all the detail and the coloring that he put in that snake tail. Now the one thing I meant to mention about the front, that black thing going around the neck, it don't quite look as like how it did in the one picture, but that shit is close enough and it gets the job done. I'm glad he put them spiked shoulder pads in a spot where they look great and you can still move the arm up and they don't get in the way. Now last but not least, this last Snakeman, Motu comic didn't get a chance to do an artwork for him, but he's planning on doing it. So obviously his ass don't got no name. But like I said with the last one, if y'all leave some suggestions, I'll pick 5 and we can vote on a winner. We'll start off with them feet. He got them Skeletor feet, followed by the bottom part of the legs, which belong to Trapjaw. Moving up, he ended up using the belt from the Netflix Skeletor figure, for those that recognize that. Above that, he's got the torso of Squeeze, armor from a Palace Guard, the arms are from Cobra Khan, and that fucking face. That is the 3rd face used from Squeeze, and he just sculpted that helmet on the head, doing the best he could to make it look like the artwork. I'm very satisfied with it. Great job overall, Bomb Star. Going to the back of the body, I love how the armor color pops. From the leg armor to the belt, to the chest, to the arms, to the helmet, he looks like a badass killer. And with this being the last figure with no artwork from Motu comic to base it off of, you killed that shit, Bomb Star. I can see this being a legit Motu figure, and it works for me. It matches with the artwork. Well done. Now right here, I want to create a scene of all his repulsive reptiles, and King Hiss just rescued their ass from that other dimension, and he is showing them all to his snake men that ain't worth a shit. That is always getting beat the fuck up by He-Man and his crew, Skeletor and his men, the Horde and they men, they ain't worth a shit. So King Hiss told their ass, he said, look, these are what real snake men look like. These right here are my killer assassins, my repulsive reptiles. So y'all better get y'all shit right before I have them fuck y'all up. Did I tell y'all what? I bet you they got their shit right, because that is a badass team right there. All of them standing on business, but y'all see that shit right there? That bitch ass Palace Guard, he's scared out of his life, dropped his helmet at all, because he ain't trying to die for being a witness on what just occurred right here. But just pairing up all these Snakemen together, the Snakemen in general, they look great. But that team right there by themselves, they look badass. Amazing work on all of them, Bomb Star Outcast. Mattel needs to make them. Now right here, I want to make a group of Snakemen from Pre-Eternia that belonged to Lady Slither back in her day while she was climbing up the ranks in the Snake Empire. And all these snakes right here, their asses look like some bona fide killers. I love what I did with that snake neck right there using Squeeze's arm. Put a little peg right there in the top. But I just wanted to show them real quick. Now right here, folks, this is the video that I'm trying to get done by the end of the week. But with all these Motu figures I done got out the tunnel, I gotta get these reviews out. So these might have to wait for a second, but I just wanted y'all to get a look at this big ass group. And that shit would be crazy if they was all to do a Mario Kart type of race, just popping off, shooting missiles and shit at each other, trying to see who could be the first place winner and the Eternian Grand Prix champion. Yeah, that shit would be crazy. Maybe I'll do a video like that one day, but until then, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching, folks. And if you like what you saw, do my ass a favor and drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It ain't gonna hurt you, is it? Come on now. Go ahead and hit the button. I know you have to hit the button. Hit that goddamn button, drop a like. All right, I'm out of here.